the techniques we use for space clearing are similar to the ones that I use for energy clearing, for life path clearing. And I'm like, if we're going to go forward, let's go forewarned and forearmed.
Well,
so show us some of what you got there. You set up a great show and tell.
Yeah, actually, I brought some of my trinkets, right? So, well, seraphonite helps repel negative energy. They also call it angel wing. It's one of my favorite stones. Well, you also saw my wand. It's a Harry Potter wand. Yay! Oh yeah, she was good in the Mary Tyler show too. Things you learn. So yeah. We'll teach you about movies next week. No. So a couple of my favorite things are sage. You guys have probably seen this one more. This is usually how when people buy sage, it's all bundled up and everything. It's great. Sometimes you can get what they call wild. This is white sage. The only difference is they just grab it, dry it, and throw it together. Where here, this sometimes is a little process to get it together, and the sage is a little thinner.
Yeah, the white sage doesn't have as resiny a smell when it burns.
Right.
Yeah.
But the good thing about sage is when you sage the house, it actually is scientifically proven to clean the air. So it'll help you breathe a little easier. Just, just don't smoke yourself to death while trying to clean your house, right? Open the windows. But
what was it you were saying? Like I said, burning sage, like I do sound clearing and crystal clearing rather than sage clearing because it always afterwards it smells like an ashtray. And you said
to me, it smells like pot, sheep pot. I'm from California, know the difference, but but it does. It smells like it's like either somebody's saging their house or it's they're getting high. It's one or the other, right? So either way, it's an enjoyable smell. So I'll just, if it's wafting in the air, I'll partake.
So that Kim way, and me walking into a sage house together, I'm like, oh, who's been smoking? Clean your air. And Kim's like, something good is happening.
It'd be like, okay, I know they saged it. That's not weed because you're bitching, but something that's a lot of people do this because they like the smell as incense, right? They like the candles, the incense, whatever the case is. This is just, I got it when I was in Norway. It's Nag Champa, and I don't know, it's got some other something around it. I just love the smell of it. So it's one of my favorites. And then the last thing I use is, this is a candle, little candlelight. It's selenite. They also call it satinite. So it could go by either one. And the idea behind it is once it's heated up, it helps draw the negative energies, and then it dissipates it with the heat. Not to be confused with the was it the Himalayan pink salt that heat up and they clean the air. It's just the salt has to get warm in order to do that. And when you use it properly, the salt will actually disappear over time because it's actually doing what it's supposed to. So
yeah, I had a lot of selenite, Himalayan pink salt, and what's it called, the black stone. What's wrong with my brain? Anyway, at my wellness center, you may recall some of the rooms had it lining. I had a shelf going all around the ceiling, and I
obsidian.
Obsidian. No, not obsidian. It'll come to me later. We'll be talking about something else, and I'll randomly shout out the name of a stone.
So you also got onyx, because hematite is a silver gray. Then you've got onyx black. You've got jet. Jet's really light in its ocean, so it's not really a grounding energy stone like damn, I just lost that word too. All right, we're not supposed to talk about it, so we'll move on to
but before we do, I want to say, smudge spray, what's it smell like?
It smells good. I like it. But again, everyone's a little different. Let's see.
So it smells like pot.
Right? So this is a proprietary blend. So it's got honestly, right off of it, I would recommend, though, I love this, and when I travel, I take this with me and I smudge my hotel rooms with this. So ingredients: water, proprietary blend of medical grade essential oils, holy water from around the world, sacred site essentials from around the world, and Bach flower essentials. But I take this everywhere I go when I travel, just because I walk around and I smudge the room, and it smells nice. It's light, it's fluffy. If I remember, it's like sage, cedar, and something else. But it's nice.
My stepdad and I, during the COVID, we watched so many documentaries. So we're watching a bunch about the scientists, the archaeologists and anthropologists who are doing the tombs in Egypt. And in one, they went into some tombs that no one even knew existed, and they found like a lot of great stuff in it. Immediately, once it was open, even though there was a long tunnel, immediately everything started getting moldy and degrading, mostly getting moldy from outside air coming into this place that had been enclosed for thousands of years. But in there, they found something that was very special. There was a bowl that had accidentally been left behind that had a little of the resin of the embalming liquid. So they took it to a laboratory, analyzed it, and they were able to find the exact recipe that the Egyptians had used for their embalming fluid. They made a modern version of it, and they went in and sprayed everything in the room, and everything stopped molding up. Everything became pristine again. And it was like rosemary, cedar. We were very surprised when we looked at the Trader Joe's sanitizing fluid. It was like almost all the same ingredients, except what you're buying with this big bottle from Trader Joe's is like 99.9% water with a few drops. So my stepdad and I were calling like archaeologists, trying to like confirm the recipe so that we could make it ourselves for like anti-COVID spray. We were going a little nuts. And we did make a really good spray. It was very effective. But when they were doing their regular sanitizing, modern day stuff, it was slowing the mold and the degradation, but it wasn't stopping it. But when they used this, it stopped it completely.
Wow.
So, so what you have in there, and I'm sorry, I'm just yammering on, but in support of what you were just saying.
Yeah, no, I love it when I go in. It always makes me feel better. Plus, I also tell the universe to get me a non-haunted, non-preoccupied room that's clean. So, I set parameters up. You gotta.
Yeah. Now, when I was in Mexico, incense is big there, very big. Because keep in mind, like where I go to in central Mexico, it's very Catholic, but it's still very indigenous. Both worlds exist together for these people. So they will pray to like earth gods and Mother Mary in the same prayer. So incense, super big. And the number one thing I see when you go in the open air markets, and almost every shop has a basket full of boxes of incense for sale, the number one incense I have seen again and again is marijuana incense. And I'm like, why you're not smoking? Like, I asked them, does this get you high? And like, oh, no, it's just the smell. I'm like, why? And they said, well, suppose you're a student, you're studying very hard, but you still want to be cool. You burn this incense in your room so that people think you're cool, but you get your studying done. So that's my incense story.